Zoe's hands shook as she picked up her sweater from the dirty bathroom floor. Someone had drawn ugly pictures all over it with permanent marker. Her eyes filled with tears, but she blinked them away fast. She wouldn't cry. Not here. Not where they could see. Looking for this? Skyler's voice echoed off the bathroom walls. She stood by the door, holding Zoe's backpack high in the air. Her perfect blonde hair didn't have a single hair out of place. Her dress probably cost more than Zoe's dad made in a whole month. Skyler's friends giggled behind her like mean little birds. They always laughed at Skyler's jokes, even when they weren't funny. "I think this belongs right here," Skyler said, dropping the backpack into the trash can. The metal lid clanged shut like a trap snapping closed. Zoe's heart pounded in her chest. "Why are you doing this?" Her voice came out smaller than she wanted. "Because," Skyler flipped her hair, "someone needs to teach you that cheap clothes don't belong in our school." "Temu? Really? That's so embarrassing." The bathroom door swung shut behind them, leaving Zoe alone. She pulled her backpack from the trash, trying not to think about what sticky stuff was now on it. Her lunch was squished. Her homework was crumpled. But worst of all, the fashion design she'd been working on for weeks was torn right down the middle. Zoe had drawn a beautiful dress with flowers and stars. She'd planned to ask her dad if they could try making it together. He always said her designs were special, even though they could never afford fancy fabric. That night at dinner, Zoe's dad noticed something was wrong. He always did. "Rough day, kiddo." He pushed the spaghetti toward her. It was her favorite, but tonight she barely touched it. "Just school stuff," Zoe said, trying to smile. Her dad reached across the table and squeezed her hand. His hands were rough from his job at the warehouse, but they were gentle. "You know what your mom used to say?" Zoe knew, but she let him tell her anyway. It made him happy to remember. She'd say, "Happiness comes from being yourself, not from making others happy." "Your mom was the smartest person I ever knew." His eyes got shiny, but he smiled. "She'd be so proud of the creative, kind person you're becoming." Zoe thought about Skyler. About her mean words and her expensive clothes. About how she made everyone laugh by making Zoe feel small. But then Zoe thought about something else. She'd seen Skyler's face yesterday after math class. The teacher had called Skyler's mom about a bad grade. For just 1 second, before Skyler put her mean smile back on, she had looked scared. Really, really scared. Maybe perfect Skyler wasn't so perfect after all. "Dad," Zoe asked, "what if someone's mean to you because someone's mean to them?" Her dad thought for a moment. "That's a tough question, sweet pea. I guess hurt people sometimes hurt people. But that doesn't make it okay." Zoe nodded slowly. She had an idea forming in her mind. A scary, crazy idea. What if she tried to be kind to Skyler anyway? The next morning, Zoe put on her favorite outfit. It wasn't expensive. The shirt came from a thrift store, and she'd added her own patches and designs to make it special. When she looked in the mirror, she saw her mom's eyes looking back at her. Creative eyes. Brave eyes. Today, something was going to change. She could feel it in her bone. Skyler stared at her reflection in the mirror. Her mother stood behind her, lips pressed into a thin, angry line. "That dress makes you look fat," her mother said coldly. "I'm calling the doctor. You need those weight loss shots." "Mom, I'm only 13. And you're representing me. Do you understand? I was on every magazine cover except Vogue. Every cover. You will be perfect, or you will be nothing." Skyler's throat felt tight. She wanted to cry, but crying made her mother angrier. "Yes, Mother. And that thing on your face." Her mother pointed at the small beauty mark on Skyler's cheek. "We're removing it. You can't go to the red carpet looking like that." "But I don't care what you like." Her mother's voice cracked like a whip. "As long as you're my daughter, you will look perfect. Now go. You're late for school." At school, Skyler saw Zoe by her locker. She was wearing another homemade outfit. This time, a skirt with hand-painted butterflies on it. It was actually pretty. But Skyler couldn't say that. If she acted soft, if she acted kind, her friends would leave her. She'd be alone. Being mean felt safer than being alone. "Nice outfit," Skyler said loudly, making sure everyone could hear. "Did you fish it out of a dumpster?" Her friends laughed on cue. But Zoe just looked at her with those calm, sad eyes. "I made it myself," Zoe said quietly. "I like creating things." Something about those words hit Skyler in the chest. When was the last time she'd created something? When was the last time she'd done anything just because SHE liked it? Later that day, Mrs. Patterson announced the group project. "This is worth 30% of your grade. I'm assigning partners." Skyler's stomach dropped when she heard her name paired with Zoe's. "I'm not working with you," Skyler hissed when they were alone. "Look, I don't like this either," Zoe said. "But we need to pass." "Then you do it." "I don't care about the grade." But Skyler did care. If she failed, her mother would ground her for a month. No parties. No events. No escape from that cold, perfect house where nothing was ever good enough. That night, Skyler sat in her enormous bedroom feeling smaller than she ever had. Her phone buzzed. It was her boyfriend, Chase. "Sky, you okay? You seem stressed." She typed back, "Group project drama. Want me to come over?" Before she could answer, another text came. "Yo, Chase. Why you texting so much? You going soft?" It was from Brad, Chase's best friend. They must be together. Chase's next message made her feel sick. "Nah man, it's strategy. You make girls feel special, then you get what you want." Skyler stared at her phone. Even Chase was fake. Even the person who said he cared about her was just pretending. She was completely alone. The next day at school, Skyler couldn't focus. Her mother had yelled at her that morning about her grades, about her weight, about her face. The words still burned in her ears. When the project was due, Skyler walked into class with nothing. Her hands were empty. Her heart was heavy. "Where's your project?" Mrs. Patterson asked. "I don't have it." "Skyler, I told you this would affect your grade." "I've got it." Zoe rushed through the door, breathing hard. "Here's our project. We worked on it together, but I was running late." Skyler's mouth dropped open. The project was beautiful. Zoe had done all the work. For both of them. After class, Skyler caught up to Zoe in the hallway. "Why did you do that?" Skyler's voice cracked. "Why did you help me?" Zoe turned around. Her eyes were kind. Too kind. "I heard the way your mom talks to you," Zoe said softly. "You don't deserve that." Skyler felt something break inside her chest. Tears started falling before she could stop them. "My mom always told me something," Zoe continued. "Happiness comes from being yourself. Not from getting approval. Even from your own mother." For the first time in years, Skyler felt seen. Really seen. "I'm going to the red carpet next week," Skyler whispered. Would you want to design my dress?" Zoe's face lit up like sunshine breaking through clouds. "Really? Really? And Zoe, I'm sorry. For everything." The red carpet stretched out like a river of dreams. Cameras flashed everywhere. Famous people in fancy clothes posed and smiled. And there, in the middle of it all, stood Skyler. But she wasn't wearing the dress her mother had picked out. She was wearing Zoe's design. The dress was midnight blue with hand-painted stars that seemed to sparkle in the light. It wasn't the most expensive dress there, but it was the most beautiful because it was made with love. "Skyler, over here." Photographers shouted her name. Her mother appeared like a storm cloud, face red with anger. "What do you think you're doing? Where's the dress I bought you?" "I'm wearing what I want to wear," Skyler said. Her voice shook, but she didn't back down. And I'm keeping my beauty mark too. Then you can forget about this event. We're leaving. Now. No. That one word felt like jumping off a cliff. I'm staying. Her mother's face turned purple. As long as you're my daughter. I'll always be your daughter, Skyler interrupted. But I won't be your doll anymore. I'm done pretending to be perfect. For the first time ever, her mother had no words. She just turned and walked away, heels clicking on the red carpet like angry thunder. Skyler's heart pounded. She'd just lost everything. Her mother's approval. Her perfect life. Everything she'd been taught to care about. But somehow, she felt lighter than she had in years. Skyler. You look amazing. Zoe appeared beside her, wearing a simple but beautiful dress she'd designed herself. Her dad stood proudly next to her in his best suit. Zoe. I'm so glad you came. Skyler hugged her. A real hug. Not a fake photo-op hug. Ladies and gentlemen. A reporter called out. We have Skyler here wearing an incredible design by up-and-coming fashion designer Zoe. Can you tell us about this dress? Zoe's face turned red, but she smiled. Fashion isn't about how much money you spend. It's about being creative and being yourself. The cameras went crazy, taking photos of both girls. Then Skyler saw someone she didn't expect. Chase stood at the edge of the carpet, looking nervous. Skyler. Wait, he called out. She crossed her arms. What do you want? I wanted to say I'm sorry. His voice was quiet. I was trying so hard to fit in with Brad and those guys that I forgot who I really was. I lost the people who actually cared about me. Can you forgive me? Skyler looked at Zoe, who smiled and nodded. I forgive you, Skyler said. But things are going to be different now. No more fake stuff. No more pretending. Chase's face broke into a real smile. Deal. Hey, where'd Brad and the other guys go? Zoe asked. I told them I was done being fake, Chase said. They laughed and left. But honestly, I feel free. The three of them stood together under the bright lights, and for the first time, Skyler understood what her mother never did. Real beauty isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. Months later, Zoe's fashion designs were everywhere. Her YouTube channel exploded with followers who loved her message about creativity and kindness. And Skyler? She started appearing in the videos too, talking about what it was like to break free from trying to be perfect. Her mother eventually called. They had a long talk. Things weren't fixed overnight, but they were getting better. Slowly. One evening, Zoe's dad surprised her with something special. He'd been saving up from his extra shifts. Close your eyes, he said. When Zoe opened them, she gasped. A brand new sewing machine sat on the table, with a note that read, Your mom would be so proud. I love you, Dad. Tears ran down Zoe's face. Happy tears. I love you too, Dad, she whispered. Everything had changed. Not because of expensive clothes or perfect appearances, but because one girl decided to be kind, and another girl decided to be brave. And that made all the difference. What did you think? Did this story touch your heart? Have you ever felt like Zoe or Skyler? Drop a comment below and share your story. Your words might help someone else who's going through a tough time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember, happiness comes from being yourself, not from getting approval from others. You are enough, just as you are. See you in the next story.